without warrants. They lie to you as a matter of course. Remember, they promised that the trillions of dollars in the bailout would only be $800 billion. Then it turned out to be tens of trillions. They promised it would be immediately to unlock the mortgage situation. None of the money went to that. The next day, October 4th, they said, we're spending none of it on that, and we're not going to tell Congress where the money's going. And for more than 60 years, Congress has requested to know where the U.S. gold supply is. No one's allowed to inspect it. No one's allowed to look at it because under the Federal Reserve Act, it's under the private bank's control. Now Ron Paul is no doubt risking his life, saying he wants an audit of Fort Knox and other gold depositories. You don't hear Glenn Beck calling for an audit of the gold, do you? You don't hear him calling for an audit of the Fed. If he started doing stuff like that, he wouldn't be on Fox News very long, and I'd be supporting him. And I'm not here trying to attack Glenn Beck. I'm just pointing out that he doesn't go 1/10 as far as he should with the amazing power that he has, because they know that the American people have awakened. They know that Ron Paul and many others had become focal points for a huge movement to seriously challenge the left-right paradigm and the Republican and Democratic parties. And the system brought in Glenn Beck and others to co-opt that at that key moment. And they've been very successful. By the way, the reason I raised that, it's in my stack. I'm going to cover it after the bottom of the hour break. Ron Paul has put out an editorial that was published in major newspapers across the country, including the New York Times of all places. They went with it because they think it'll drive a wedge between Republicans and Democrats and further the left-right paradigm. It'll actually do the opposite. And they're scared of Glenn Beck right now, bringing the Republicans into the power structure. They're back into control of the power structure. But the point is, you read Ron Paul's editorial, he explains that he's against Obama and he's against the Republican leadership because if you look at their voting records, not their rhetoric, look at what they do, not what they say, government grows when Republicans are in almost as fast as it does when Obama's gotten into office. In fact, previously, government would grow even faster under Republicans than it would under Democrats, if you look at the statistics. But now under Obama, all those rules have been broken. I mean, you would imagine that it would be Democrats with their tax and spend system that would actually create the biggest deficits and things. But if you look at the averages, normally Republicans tend to get even more big government through because conservatives go to sleep. But now under Obama, with the government takeover of health care, with expanding these wars, expanding the size of the federal government, he has tripled the size of government in only a year and a half in office when George W. Bush only doubled it, a little more than doubled. You can go pull up the statistics on that. But Obama has spent more money than all presidents before him combined. That's George W. Bush back to George Washington. It's really such big numbers, it's hard to even get your mind around this. But going back to the satellite issue, spy satellites used to control American citizens. Kurt Nimmo did a boil-down story on this today, showing how all these mainstream publications are promoting how great it is that the environmental agencies and law enforcement agencies are now basically skipping all of the mid moves and going right to the end game, where they're just coming right out and saying, we're going to use this for everything. We're going to use this, and we're going to issue pupils, government jerseys they've got to wear, basically prisoner shirts that have RFID tracking them in real time. And yes, we're putting up microphones to track you on the street corners. And yes, we've got mobile X-ray vans that drive around X-raying your house from a distance. I mean, I knew 14 years ago I'd seen Pentagon purchase orders for domestic helicopters with X-ray, high-powered X-ray systems mounted to them. not just infrared, but X-ray. But now it's in Forbes telling you how great it is. And there's the health issues from this. There's the privacy issues. Yesterday, I was pretty nasty in the 3 hours, very negative, because it just disgusted me how bona fide and naked this tyranny is. By any measurement, by any yardstick, by any historical perspective, and it's racing in its growth. And it's our tax money doing it as we go bankrupt. And Mexico is descending into absolute hell. Every day it gets more insane, and our government won't use the spy satellites to take care of that. In fact, our government's funding many of the massacres that are going on down there. It's all coming up. I'll get into the economy next, and a bunch of global warming news. Boy, they've been caught red-handed in more fraud. Their house of cards is coming down.
As many people know, ever since President Nixon took us off the gold standard, the U.S. dollar has been devaluating. What people don't know, however, is how this directly affects your personal finances. Is there a way to prevent your portfolios from losing value? The answer to all of this is gold and silver. They've both maintained their purchasing power for 6,000 years. If you had had $100,000 in cash and $100,000 in gold and silver back in 1913 and kept them both until now, your cash would actually have the buying power of only $4,800, but your gold and silver would have the buying power of $3 million. The answer to protecting your assets is simple. Call me, John Ballman, today at 1-800-686-2237, extension 169. Get all your questions answered before your money is worth zero. Call 1-800-686-2237, extension 169. Take action today while we still accept paper dollars for gold. That's 1-800-686-2237, extension 169.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on Earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Is your debt problem a ticking time bomb? Thanks to a new financial consumer relief program designed in response to the economic crisis facing millions of Americans, you don't have to wait until it's too late to defuse your debt. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card bills and are struggling to make minimum payments, get ready to take down this number for free information that could potentially save your home, the lifestyle you're accustomed to, and your family's financial well-being. But don't wait. Studies show that if most debt problems are confronted directly, beneficial settlements, manageable monthly payments, and quick restoration of credit are more easily attained, potentially saving you thousands of dollars in interest charges, fees, and unpaid debt. Don't procrastinate. Call now for your free information and begin putting your economic house in order today. To qualify for this program, you must have $10,000 in credit card debt. Call the American Debt Associates at 800-876-2966. 800-876-2966. Again, 800-876-2966.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Don't worry. This show is documented. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames.
Let's look at the economic news. Here's a Bloomberg headline out this morning. Gold rallying to 1,500 as Soros's bubble inflates. And every time I've seen Bloomberg make a prediction like this, it's come true. And it isn't that gold is really going up. It's that paper currencies worldwide are being devalued basically in concert. Investors are accumulating enough bullion to fill Switzerland's vaults twice over, as gold's most accurate forecasters say the longest rally in at least 9 decades has further to go, no matter what the economy holds. Analysts raised their 2011 forecast more than for any other precious metal in the past 2 months, predicting a 10th annual advance. Data compiled by Bloomberg shows the most widely held option of gold futures traded in New York for $1,500 an ounce by December. Did you hear that? The most widely held option, this is what the market's betting on gold futures traded in New York is for $1,500 an ounce by December, or an 18% more than the record $1,266.50. Gold is up more than $13 today. And it's a market fundamental that as the Federal Reserve announces quantitative easing and a move towards global SDRs, another layer of digital cashless currency amongst the banks, based on carbon taxes, based on carbon credits, backed up by faltering currencies. And as governments start monetizing their debt, when the Treasury issues bonds and governments and institutions and individuals don't buy all of them, or in some cases even half of them, the Federal Reserve comes in and creates more currency to buy its own debt. And so to put this in layman's terms, because I'm a layman myself, I've been studying it for a long time, but all the technical terms, sometimes even escape me, though I try to understand it. It's very simple. It's kind of like saying Vegas is 2-1 for this football team at the Super Bowl, or Vegas has got odds for this team to win. And generally, almost always, the house wins. That's why if you bet for the underdog and win, you end up making a lot more money. There's not a very big spread of profit if you bet for who Vegas is saying is going to win the Super Bowl. So the majority of the money now on Wall Street in the futures market for December, coming up in 3 months, is on gold going up 18%. And they talk about it only increasing in value after that. In fact, give me